Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? It's still a little bit morning here. Not that I really woke up right now. It's just been 1 hour. I was staying very late yesterday coding on the social networks. So today I guess I have right now 1 hour or 1 hour and a half to work on it. So I thought about streaming it as I did also the other days. So yeah, let's get started. Let me know if you can hear me well, if everything is okay. That would be important. Okay, so let's continue with what we have next on our schedule, and this is the posting ability. So users should have the ability to post something. It should be able to post both from the newsfeed and from the timeline. Okay, let us run the application and just see what this actually means. Let's see what this actually means first. Let me bring the browser on the right screen. It always starts on the other one, even if this is my main display where I'm actually streaming. But yeah, I guess that's something that we will have to work with. Not that we can change it. It needs a little bit of time right now to start. But yeah, here's the application. This is currently the user that I'm logged in with. And here, actually, we see that we have this create post. So here we should be able to post something, to write something down. And for now, for simplicity, only for actually this proof of concept that I have to present, I guess we'll just remove all those buttons here, because for now, the only thing that we'll be able to post is text. So we won't be able to post pictures or videos. We will just be able to post text for now. So that's it. And then if I go to my timeline, I have here, you see in this timeline, basically here I should see all my posts, I guess in a chronological order. But what we'll do here is we have to implement exactly the same thing. So we actually have a component here that is exactly the same, I guess. So the first thing that we need to do is that we have to implement in this type of in the timeline and in the newsfeed this ability to simply write a message and post it. So yeah, let's get this done. And in order to do that, we should probably, or we will also be able to, we will have to create a repository for that, because we don't have it yet. So let's start with defining the interface. That would be, let's new class, and I'm defining the interfaces in the domain layer, of course. And this would be post repository. Okay, so let's click add. And of course this should be an interface. Public interface. And then I guess I don't know exactly from now all the methods that we'll need here. But since our first task is to be able to create a post, I guess that's also the first thing that we'll actually need. So let's create a method that would be return a task of post. We are returning the same post, or the created post after it is created. We should add system threading tasks, and probably also the domain aggregate for the post, and this would be named create post async, because it would be asynchronous. And then what we'll actually need here is, of course, we'll need the post that we need to create, and that will need to persist actually in the database. So yeah, that's the first thing that we'll define in this interface. Now the next thing that we will do is, first we'll need also on the timeline of the user to display the recent posts, I guess. So here it is, the user's post should be displayed chronologically in the timeline. So this is actually the second point here. Oh, well, so let's this means that we will also need a way to get a task, and we would need to return we'll return a list right now. I know this is not really optimal. We could return an I variable or an I collection, but let's for simplicity just return a list, and that would be get posts by username, or by user ID, I guess. By user ID async. We'll have to also look a little bit in the domain to see exactly what this actually means. So let's actually do that right now. So we have this other aggregate, which is the post aggregate. So let me just see what we actually need for that, because what we need for that is, so when we create a post, we need the ID of the post, of course, the post type. That would theoretically that could be text, video, or photo, but right now we'll have only text, but that's not a problem. Then we have the text and the author ID. Yeah, that's actually based on what will actually retrieve our posts. So I guess that then it has a media URL, a date created. This is something that we don't need to create. Last modified, something that we don't need to provide because it has a default implementation. And the list of comments is not something that we really need, but we'll have to see exactly how this will actually shape up. We'll have to see how this will shape up. Then we have this list of interactions and things like that. Okay, so I guess we can simply take in the GUID of the post author in this case. So yeah, let's GUID author. Okay, I see here some notifications. I see here some problems with the stream. Can you please let me know if you can hear me well? I don't know, on Twitch it seems that the stream signal should be fine, but on YouTube I get some messages that the quality of this video might be just a little bit problematic. So can you maybe please let me know if the stream is okay, or if you experience issues with the stream? And I guess that would be great. I guess that would be very, very important. Okay, right now YouTube also says that it should be fine again. I don't know. I'm sorry if the quality of the stream is bad. I'm really sorry for that. But yeah, let's hope that it stays like this right now, and it should be okay. Okay, let's then go back to this. Let's then go actually back to this. So we are here at the we have this get post by user ID async, which is something that we'll need to, and then we say that here we have these repositories. Let's implement the post repository class. And that should be, of course, a public one. Yeah. And should, of course, inherit the I post repository. specify where to get it from, of course, and yeah, that should be it right now. And thanks to Visual Studio, I can already implement those methods. Here, the only thing that I would like to change is that I would like to make them async, because we'll do this asynchronously. But before we go to the implementation of these methods, what we actually need is the constructor, and in the constructor we will need a social DB context and we'll also work with a private field that we will use, private read only social DB context, and then we'll just assign them here. So I guess that should be fine right now. Okay, then assuming that we have a post that we get here, I guess in the implementation here for now, of course, as we did also for the user, I don't have time right now to implement things like error handling or logging or similar. So I will just go with return, or let me, okay, var post equals weight. Then on the context we have this posts DB set, and then we could simply add, and we add the post. So this adds the post actually to okay, so this edit post, because we have problems with the naming here. So edit post, and we just need to add the post here. Okay, what is the problem here? Let's see what is actually the problem here. Entity post does not contain a definition for get a waiter. Of course, this is sorry. Yeah, I guess it's too early for me. This is just adding the post to the DB context. It's not actually writing it to the database, and as such, this method is not async at all. So what is async is when we actually want to return the save changes, and then we have return. Oh, okay, save changes async. On the context, of course, and this is the part where we actually do something to the database, and that means that we also don't need to use this variable here. We just need to add a post to the DB context, and then we'll return the post after that happened. And here what we could do is we can simply return the list of posts right now. And here that would be, I guess it would be very easy, await the context posts. Then we can have this where clause, and in this where clause, I guess we can say that we want the post for which the author ID equals to the author that we receive actually here. Okay, and then we can say this to list async, and that should actually return us the post. Now of course we can simply return that, and I guess that should be fine. Okay, so let's now go, I guess, to the user interface part, and to check out or to see exactly where or what we can actually do here. So let me have a short drink. Okay, now if we go here to this let's start actually with the newsfeed. So here on the newsfeed we have this create post component, which is actually that box for creating the post. And here we see that what we actually have here is and these are those buttons there that we actually don't need. So for now, I just don't want to really remove them. I just comment them out for now, because probably soon enough we'll also have to enable the ability to post also different things than just text here. But that should actually do enough. And here the create post for this component, I guess that where we, so we have here in shared, yeah, that's correct, because this is actually a shared component, because it is used both by the timeline and by the newsfeed, so that is correct. But here in this shared, I still need some models here. Although the only real thing that we'll need is actually a string which represents the text for it. So yeah, I guess we will be able to do this here in this code behind part. So what we'll have here is we'll have a private string, and how should we call it? Text. Let's call it just text. Okay, and then if we go back here, we see that here we have this class form group, which is correct. Then we also have an image for something, which is the profile photo, I guess. That's the profile photo for the user probably, but we'll check it again. I also need to see it graphically. Then we have this text area, and here in this text area, let me just bring those in on separate lines to make it easier. Okay, I guess this text will be something like, I don't know, share something. But I guess that we actually will need because we need to also include this button div. But those div are, so here in this row, let's wrap it into a div for now. Where is this? Wrap into div? And there should be, yeah, there it is. The only thing is that this won't be really a div, and instead that would be an edit form component. And here we have to specify a model, and the model would be text, so our property. And then on valid submit, we'll have a method create post or something like that. Now this button will be of type submit. Now I'm not sure exactly, but I guess that's what browsers are for, or what Google is for. I don't really know exactly if HTML text area input, should I rename that to an input, or could I just leave it as a text area? It's a form. Okay, then you have this input and an input time submit, and the text area is actually outside of the form. So actually the text area is not actually an input type. I'm not exactly sure how this works in Blazor, because theoretically we can bind, I guess, only to input types. Okay, but that's kind of strange. input type text. Okay. Yeah, let me, I don't know. Let me just check if that is possible to do. So what I want to do is say bind value, and that would be I want to bind to text. Could not be inferred from the attribute bind value. Bind attribute should be of the form bind or bind value along with their corresponding optional parameters like a bind value event, bind format. But that's strange. I guess optionally we can even change that to well, to something else. Okay, maybe change text area to input, but we'll see that just a little bit later, I guess. What we can do is we can already try to test this a little bit. So we have here to create a method, private. It would be, I guess, it should be async, and we'll see just in a second why. So it would be an async. It would return a task, of course, and then it would be called create post, I guess. And we'll implement here the value. The only idea is that when you click the button, the actually post creation won't be done in this component. This component is just a presentation component, so it just renders some text, it just displays something. So what we will need to do instead is to simply notify the parent that somebody wanted to post something. And I guess the important thing or what we need here is also, in order to know exactly who actually posts something, we would also need a parameter as an input, which would be the post, not post, parameter. And let's take the user as a parameter. Yeah, let's take the user. Let's take the user here. So parameter. Do we need a user? Actually, we don't need user, because the parent should know exactly who the user is. Just need we still need a parameter, but we just need to send the event callback. Let's make that like this: event callback, and it will be of string because we just sent the text that we actually need. And here on post created, and the only thing that we'll actually do here is just await on post created dot invoke async, and we'll just pass in the what is the problem here? Of course, oh my god, this is not a method, this is a property. It's definitely too early for me. It's definitely too early for me. Yeah, sorry for that. So then we have to invoke async, and we just want to invoke the text. Actually, so that's what we want to do. And theoretically, this should right now work, no matter if we are using it from the newsfeed or if we are using it from the timeline. So let's actually test it out. And what I want to test out, if I type something in the text box, when I click the button, is it really that I get the text here? Because that would be the most important part to check right now. And yeah, let's see what that actually means. So the application starts. Okay, let me bring the browser on the other window so that we can see it. Oh, we have an error. Invalid operation exception, edit form required model parameters or edit context parameter, but not both. Okay. Okay. What edit context parameter? I'm not sure exactly what this actually means. So it means that we have here the component type app render service preferred layout null. I actually don't know exactly what happened here. I actually don't know exactly what happened. So let's check it out. So we have this edit form. Let me go back to the internet. Can we use? That's the text area tag, but the problem is that this text area tag is actually multi-line text input control. The problem with this is that I don't know exactly how to bind it to my text there. That's strange. Global attributes, event attributes, more examples. And so we text area in form. Text area form attribute. Text area located outside the form but still a part. Okay, I get it. So the text area should be located outside. So a text area located outside the form but still a part of the form. Okay. Okay. So element belongs to. Okay. Yeah, we have to specify that ID. Okay, let us do that then. Yeah, let's try to see how that would then work. Because we actually wrap the entire thing here. So this text area ID example text area. We have here this class form group, but we don't actually have a form here. I don't know if we give that ID create post, and then if we have this ID for create post, then I don't know, bind. I'm not sure exactly why the bind value doesn't work here. The attribute names could not be inferred from the bind attribute. Okay. So we can't have this bind. Let me just search Blazor bind to text area. We're in text area in Blazor. Let me see. So I need the text area that grows as the number of lines increases. So it's text area bind value. So it should have this bind value. Why doesn't it work in my case? So if you have any ideas, then please feel free to just help out in this case, because I'm not exactly sure how to really bind this, because here we have this text area, and theoretically in that example bind value was actually available, but in my case I can't actually use this bind value, which is actually very bad. Let me maybe check for a different article here. Maybe that would help. Building a blogging app in Blazor, add posts. Okay. Let's see what Chris Santi has to say. He's a very I read him a lot. He's a real expert when it comes to Blazor. The client. So what we have, IRI helper, post and title. Okay. And let me see what we have here. So we have the container, the row. We have an input. So it's actually we don't actually need the edit form at all. Post is a string. Okay. So input. Yeah, this is the title. And the text area is that bind and then post. Okay. Then a button and the on click. So it's actually he's actually not using an edit form model. Well then let's just do like he does and see how it goes. So we have here a bind that should bind to the text. And here it's actually not important if this button is of type submit. We can even just delete that. But what we need to do is that we need this on click event, and when we click this on click, I would like to create post. I would like to execute that method. So yeah, right now we have this text area, we have this bind text, and then we have this button. Let me see if this time if it works this time. I'm really curious about it. Okay, it's here. It takes long again, but right now at least it yeah, but then we have this this entire text box or text area. Hello world. Let's see, publish. So we fire the event and we actually get the text, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's actually what we need. Let me go back here and just remove this entire div. Actually, just remove this. We don't actually need it. So we can make this 12 so that it could take the entire row. And then we just don't need this other part with the tools. So let's yeah, let's just check it out. How does it look like right now? It's starting again. Okay, so we have this but right now the button is gone. Was the button in that? Oh my god, the button was in the other one. Oh my god, the button was in the other one. Yeah, the button was in the other one. Okay, let me check. How should we actually do that? Because I don't want to have so much space between the button and all these list items. Let me just delete them for now. Okay. but this is let's make it back to 7. No, this is the part that I hate the most, working on HTML and CSS. That's like really painful, at least for me. I don't like it at all. That's why I'm also using this template, so I'm not creating everything from scratch actually. Okay, so now the only thing that just intrigues me is the fact that we have this type of yeah, the button is totally far away. So let's maybe go, and as we had it earlier, maybe let's I don't know, let's just copy this button. Let me actually copy this entire div. Let me just copy this entire div and let's put it under this form group. And then we can delete all this other column, and let's make this once again 12 so that it should take the entire row. So how will it look like right now? How will it look now? How will it look now? Okay, it looks even worse. Don't like it. Let's just maybe, I don't know, put this button here and just remove that. I really hate that. I really hate this. Let's hope that this time is just a little bit okay, so that we can move on. Okay, but it's not really taking the entire row, I guess. That's also bad. So what if we just what did I press here? What if I create a div? The div is a display block as far as I know, so actually it should add some spacing here in comparison to this one. And then so we have this class row. Then we say that it should be on the entire row. Maybe we should give it a default column 12. Because right now we are on a large screen, and yeah, let's try it out again. Let's just try it out again. So it's still not what I like here. So I mean, we could even between the text area and this, let's see if we put where is it? NBSP. Can we just refresh it? Actually, I guess no. We should restart it. I'm not sure exactly why, but yeah. I mean, I think I will leave it as it is right now, so I won't bother anymore with this. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. I simply leave it like that. And we can resize this. Yeah, okay, that's kind of nice. Of course, we could set also an automatical size, but yeah, let's give that option to just. If we click publish, we have the text. Okay, that's actually what we need. So let's stop for now and let's continue and concentrating on what we actually need to do here. And this is to get the post into the database, of course, and then to display it in the timeline if we go to the timeline. So here, what would this mean? So we fired this event that hey, this post was created, and then this create post will be first. Let's go to the news feed because this is where we are right now. So in this news feed component, see that we have here some different stuff, and here we have this create post component. Now for this create post component, we can then just say on post created, and then we'll provide a method that would handle this post creation. And let's name this create post actually. And we don't have this method right now, but we will create it. So the idea is that here we already have the username in this component. We already have the username in this component, and we have this yeah, we actually get only the username. We actually get only the username here. Should we maybe get the entire user? Because right now I'm not sure if we really need the entire user, because to create a post we just need the user ID, and the user ID is something that we actually don't have right now. So newsfeed list, post card component, profile card component. What is that profile card? And that is the card that we have on the left. And that is the card that we have on the left. I mean, on the newsfeed. The newsfeed will only be available actually for the authenticated user. That's correct. So because I'm not able to see one other person's newsfeed, the newsfeed is actually only what you see as the authenticated user. And that authenticated user we already have, because we have this cascading value that we set in the layout, which cascades the authenticated user to us. So actually this is the only type of user that we need in this case, because right now we have all the information that we need to create a post, I guess. So public async, could even be private async task, how it should be called, create post, of course. And then what we get here would be a string text. Okay, and then what we'll need to do here is to create a post. Var post equals post.create. We have this factory method, and what it just tries to, let's add this, and this factory method will now tell us exactly what we actually need to specify. So first of all, this is a totally new post, so this means that we need to create a new ID. It should be of type GeoID. That is easy. Go GeoID, new GeoID, and that's actually it. Okay. Then the second thing that we need to specify is the post type, and this is the post type text. As said, by default we'll only have texts right now. Then we need to specify the author ID, and this would be the authenticated user .id, and then the date, time, last modified, and things like that. This is actually handled by the factory method itself of the post. So I guess that theoretically, why is this not possible? There is no argument given that corresponds to the required formal parameter author ID. Okay. How is that the case? Because I have this ID. So I specified the GeoID for the post. I specified the post type. I have to specify the text here first. Sorry. So it should be like that. And this would actually create a new post. And I need to also register the repository here in startup.cs. So where did I, I use a repository. So services add transient, because apparently in Blazor transient is the best way to, or the life cycle that should be theoretically used when you work with the Entity Framework core. So it would be I post repository, and it is implemented by post repository, and of course this is a method, so yeah, we have to invoke it. So after we did that, we actually, the only thing that we need to do here is in the newsfeed is to also inject, because in this newsfeed we really need that. And this is the parent component, so this is where we'll handle data for the entire newsfeed. And here it would be I post repository. Let's call it posts. And of course it needs to be, okay, it doesn't need to be public because it's yeah, that's not a parameter. So in that case, what we can do here is say we can say here simply await posts dot create post async, and we'll just pass in the post that we actually want to create. And actually that will also return the post, and we'll do the necessary changes. It will set a last modified and things like that, and it should also add it to the database. So let me right now put a breakpoint here, and let's actually try it out and see if that works. At least from the newsfeed it should work right now. From the timeline, I guess we'll need to add some other type of things there, because on the timeline we should first of all make sure that the create post box only appears if I'm on my current profile. So if I'm viewing my own profile, my own timeline, otherwise that should not be possible. This is my first Uniconnect post. Hope it works. Okay, let's publish it. So we have a post here, and here for the post we see that we have a date created right now. We have comments, which is 0 because there is no comment. We have no interactions, but we have also last modified, which is the same time. So it means that this data was actually added by the factory method, I guess. And yeah, that should actually do it. But then what we need to do is, I guess, set this this text box text to a string.empty. Text equals but why? Actually, we won't set it here. We can set it actually in the child directly, because the child is the responsible that needs to handle this type of things. And then we can say text equals string.empty, and that should empty the text area right after we post something, which is I would say the expected outcome, or what we actually want to achieve. So let's try to test it out a little bit, and then we'll move over and see how we can get the posts. And we'll go to the timeline for that, because on the newsfeed we want to, or we need to kind of I don't know, create a basic algorithm to define what posts should we actually show there. But in the timeline it's easier, because in the timeline it's actually where we see our posts chronologically. So let's do this here. Streaming is wonderful experience. experience, and let's publish that. So yeah, here it is, share something. So basically it deleted the message, of course. And yeah, let me just check here. If I go to the database, that's, I guess, the last thing that we need to make sure is that in our database that we have those posts. So let's go to this Uniconnect database, and here we have some tables, and on these tables we have these posts. Where is it? It is here. So let's view the data, and indeed we have 2 posts. So the posts were successfully written to the database. That's actually great. That's actually what we wanted to do for now. So right now we are able to create a post. I will have to see from the timeline. So how do we do this from the timeline? Because right now from this area it works perfectly. But now let's go to the timeline. Where do we have the folder for timeline? It's here. And here in this timeline component, we see that we have this create post component. So it's actually exactly the same. The only thing that we need to do here is just provide on create post. And actually it's very bad to do copy paste, but I guess that's exactly what we'll do. So we'll also need here the post repository. Inject post repository. Let's call it posts. Okay, and we can go then to our create post, and just we can just reuse this method actually. Actually not here, because this is from we need to go to the parent, so to the newsfeed. So what we did in the newsfeed was this. So that's actually exactly what we want to do also in the timeline. So we go there, and yeah, we just do that. Now the only thing, of course, we need to import this folder where we have the aggregate root for the post, and we need also the authenticated user. But in that case, we actually have the user here. This is the timeline component. I guess we'll also need the authenticated user here. We'll need the authenticated user here also, because we'll need to check also that that I see that that I should see the create box or I should see the create post box only if I'm viewing my own profile. So in that case would be if the authenticated user is equal to the user that I'm currently viewing the profile for. So let's use this cascading parameter to be of type user, authenticated user, and get set. So yes, right now we have the authenticated user, and now let's create a new property. Private is create post visible, but of course it's of type bool. Or let's simply create post visible, and we have a get and we have a set, and I guess that should be fine. And here on the onInitialized async, one other thing that we could do is say if the authenticated user equals user, then in that case I should say create post visible, but there's a typo here, so let's fix that. Let's just fix that, and this would be equal to true. Otherwise it would be the default, and the default it should be false. And now in the markup we actually want to do an if here and say if create post visible, then and only then we will display this component, otherwise we simply won't. And that should actually do it. So right now, if everything is correct, if I'm viewing my own timeline, I should see the create post box. When I click on it, it should invoke that event that we have here. So this event callback, and that this event callback in the timeline should trigger this method that I've created that creates a new post. And yeah, that should work, I guess. So let's try to test this out just a little bit and see how that works on the timeline. If it works on the timeline, let me bring the browser on this current screen, and yeah, we'll see. So what do we actually have here? Let me right now. Let me go to the timeline. So right now I'm going to my own timeline, so I see this create post, which is correct. So let me go to Arya Stark's profile, because we have Arya Stark here. And indeed, since this is not my profile, I don't see the create box part. But that actually also brings me some problems here with the display, which is actually not quite fun at all. But right now I won't bother to resolve this. I guess I'll maybe try to do this right before doing the presentation, whatever. So yeah, that's but if I think better, I guess that should be actually that shouldn't be a problem, because let me go to this create post component, and actually let's just add a div that has this class create post, but that it is empty, so as an else to this timeline. So basically what we do here is that say if the create post visible, then display that, but else just display a div that has the class create a post, and let me see. Let me see if this helps, and eventually on that div we can simply add some margins. It kind of somehow, yeah, but I guess, yeah, more than this I won't be doing. Yeah, that's kind of okay right now. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that actually helped. So that is actually cool. So right now I'm on my timeline again. Now I'm posting from my own timeline. That's great. And let's click publish. So this was published, and let's see if we have it in the database. Where do we have that? I guess we don't have that right now open for us, but I'm fairly sure that we already have it in the database. Guys, I would have to take a short break right now, but I will be back in 10 minutes, and I'll probably continue for 1 more hour. So please stay tuned, as we'll have to also display the posts right now on the timeline. So we'll be back very, very soon. So here I am again. Thank you very much for standing by. For those of you who are still there, I'm very happy to see you here. And yeah, let's continue then in this case. So we are able to create a post both from the newsfeed and from the timeline, which is okay. And of course, from the timeline, we are just able to create posts if it is our own timeline. We wouldn't want to create a post on behalf of a different user. So what we need to do here is then to see how we can display the posts. And here I would go to the timeline posts, and there should be already a component for that, a post content component. And of course here there are some things that well, we will have to post date. Okay, and then the author of the post, then the source of the image. We don't actually want an image here, so the image is something that we don't need. So what we need actually here is on this post component. Okay, so what we will need here is actually, because all the posts on the timeline will belong to that certain user, so I guess that we will need a parameter with user that we will get from the parent. Parameter, and then it should be public, of course, if it is a parameter. So public, it should be of type user, and we'll just call it user get set. And let's go to the timeline component, where we actually, so we have this post content component, and this is where we have to specify the user, and it should be the user that we currently have here in this parent. So that should work. And right now in this post component, we actually have the user as a model. So in that case, we can just say here that what we want to display is actually the user and the name of the user. I guess I have a toString for the name that would simply return the name. So this is done right now. Then, of course, one other thing that we'll need here is another parameter that the parent will have to supply to us, because the parent, the container in this case, we call it container because it's called the container presentation pattern, and it's something that, for instance, in Angular you see very, very often. So that where child components are actually, they don't perform any changes on state, they just render state, and if the state needs to change, then the child component will only notify the parent that theoretically the state needs to change, and then the parent component or the container component will decide exactly what to do. So yeah, we'll make here something like parameter. What should it be? Let's have it like an let's have it like a list of posts. And let's call it posts get set. And what we can actually do right now, of course, we have to add this one where we have the post aggregate, and that should be fine. So right now in this post content component, what we can actually do is we can actually have a for each. Let me say that for each and var post in posts, and let's see, then basically we can take everything here and actually we can cut it from here. and paste it here. Okay, so let's see exactly what else do we have. Now posts, on the other hand, will each post will contain a list of interactions, and it will contain a list of comments. So this is, so for right now we just rendered this the author of the post, and then have this post container. But here the author of the post, actually, where do we have it? Should be timeline HTML, and here this that would be the component. Okay. We have this image source, so this should be the post image. And then in the post container we have the image of the user itself. So let's see. Yeah, so it's good that we deleted the post picture, because we don't have pictures for posts right now. But then in this post container, the first image that we display is actually the image of the user that actually posted that. And then the okay, and here we have probably when the post was actually created. Sorry. So what we can do here is we can simply say that we want to display the post, and here on this post it would be not actually the last modified, but I guess it would be the date created. I call it date created to string, and I don't know by heart all the formatters that we have for the dates to string, so let's hope Google will help us out right now. So C# date to string for formatting. Okay, now datetime to string method, and let's see the official documentation. Okay, I don't want to provide a custom formatter. Don't we have here some? Okay, let's see. Defining output. We don't really want to do this with culture. We just want to have it in English. I guess that's simply too long, because I don't want to have it for the culture right now. I guess these are the formats that I want, and let's check out what would be the format that I want here. I guess this would be the format that I want. So Thursday, 7th August 2000, and the hour, so it's under R. I'm not sure exactly which one is that. Let me console write line string concat format. So it goes through all of them and concats the format and then the date. So it just uses R. Yeah, we'll keep that page open. let's see what this brings us. Okay, so now for the post container itself, what is the problem here? The overload method takes one argument, so no overload. Okay. Let me, but this is the nullable T. That's actually not the overload that I want. Okay, let's watch here once again. So this is the date. So it date to string format. Yeah, because it takes actually the first or the current or the I format here. So it's format dot, it should be this R, but that's actually a string. So what else do we need here? Date time formatter info invariant info. Okay, let's try to do it like that. So we just specified this format, and then of the various current date object takes one argument. Yeah, but what else do we actually need here? Because the IntelliSense then doesn't actually really tell us what we need to provide here. It's just theoretically that formatter should actually just be enough. I'm not sure exactly why do we get this error here. I'm really not sure why do we get this error here. Okay, let's not spend too much time with that. Let's just make the date to string, and that should be it for now. Okay, so the next point is here we have this user profile image, which right now is a fake image, but we'll have it eventually in the user itself. Then in the post detail we have what do we have here? Href profile link. Let me just I just want to, but I think I won't be able to see anything right now. I think I won't be able to see anything right now, but maybe I am able to see that. Maybe I am able to see that here. So this is the current folder. What I want to do is, but is there no easy way to actually open this? Because I want to open this in the file explorer actually, because I'm not sure exactly where I am right now. But yeah, let's see. So we have this profile link. Yeah, because this container contains actually information about the user that posts that. So this link, where should lead to? I don't know. Here we should display the name, of course, and the name. We'll do here. That's I guess I have to do a little bit more research about this this component that we have here, because this is the post date. So what? Because here the title was initially containing the username. Okay, this just contains the username and when it was posted, and this is probably contains more information about the profile. So in that case, we would have also here a user dot name dot toString, and let's just bring this a little bit down and publish the photo. Okay, so when it was actually published. Okay. Published this on, then we'll have once again post.date.toString, and we'll see then afterwards. Then we have this reaction, and here is this these are this type of buttons, a class btn. Okay, so these buttons, okay, so these are basically containing this like or dislike, I guess. So that's basically, for us, it's an interaction. So yeah, I guess we'll have to use a for each here. Or no, actually not, because here we just to display the count. So it could be, yeah, we could simply say that this information is in post interactions, and on these interactions we can say count. So it will count them. But yeah, here we should have it on type. So I guess we would need to create here some methods, or to create some properties that will well, have the count actually for thumbs up and thumbs down, or like and dislike. And we have several different interaction types here. But for now, maybe we'll come to this later, but for now we'll just leave one type of interaction there, because I just want to make sure that it works. And then what I want to do is to really fine-tune this a little bit. But then we have here this post text, and here in this post text is actually not sure exactly what those buttons are at the end, but here we can say that this is the post dot I guess it's the text, yes, so that would be okay. And then we have this comment and comment and comment, so we have different type of comments here. So then here we can add a for each, and for each comment in post.comment, that should be it. So for each comment we would like to actually display that. And here we have like the image source is the profile photo of the comment author, and then there is the I'm not sure exactly what the comment actually contains. So a comment contains the user. Okay, so contains the author. That is actually not bad. In that case, we can simply say here that this is then comment.author, which should be fine, I guess. So we have here this a. Then let's bring it down, and yeah, that would actually be the comment itself. And here this means that it would be comment dot, what do we have on comment? Message. So we have the message of the comment, which I guess it's okay. And then the other two divs for comments we can just simply remove. And I guess that should be it mostly. So yeah, let's right now try to, okay, we'll need a list of posts, of course. And this is something that we have to provide in the parent, because here in the parent is actually where we post content component. So we already provide user, but then we have to get the posts. So yeah, here we will definitely have in that case a new property, private list of post. Let's make it user posts, because these are only posts by a simple user, and then we can in the onInitialized async, when we get the user, what we can do is also we can get the posts, and here we can say posts or user posts, were they called, I guess. So yeah, user posts equals await posts dot what was it, the get post by user ID async. And that's actually easy because we have the user and we just provide the ID of the user, and that should be okay. So right now we should have user posts, and in when we call actually this child, we can just say that posts, but here that's not correct. So how is that other property called? How did we? But no, it's not on create post. So that's not where we are right now. It's here where we are. And yeah, here we have post. And here we pass in the user posts that we have in our component. Okay, so theoretically right now that should actually work, I guess. I guess we have wired everything up together. Everything is stitched up. So yeah, let's just run the application, go to my timeline, and I should be able to see my posts there. As far as I know, I think I have 3 posts, I guess. Just let me check. Okay. So here's the newsfeed, and let's go to my timeline. And here, indeed. Okay. But why are they repeated? That's actually strange. So posting actually worked, I guess. Now this following, that's something that we'll probably take out. Here these are the interactions for now, or at least the likes in this case. But yeah, why do we actually have? Why are they duplicated? Let me just start by looking into the database. Maybe there's something wrong with the database there. So we need the posts. If only 3 posts. So in the database we have it correctly. But hello, wouldn't it be more efficient to wrap your get code into separate methods and use task when all to run them all in parallel. Yeah, with running tasks in Blazor with Entity Framework Core, that could actually be a problem, because you can't really run several tasks at the same time on the DB context. So you would have to do them in sequence actually. If you try to run several tasks at once with on the DB context, you'll get errors. But let me I don't know, put some breakpoints somewhere. Let me go to the repository. And let me so we do actually here, yeah, it is server side, and Entity Framework Core doesn't play very nice. I actually read a lot about how to use Entity Framework Core in Blazor server side, because it's kind of tricky. It's totally different from how things work than we are used in regular MVC projects. Okay, so the idea is that I get some posts here, but let me go to the component, and I'm not sure exactly why do I actually have so much posts. But maybe I just duplicate them somehow in the component. So let me just this is on the timeline, but I guess we need to go on the parent where we actually get the posts. So yeah, let me check that one. So let's just so we have here this breakpoint, and here we have 3. Okay, so actually we get only 3 posts. Let me put a breakpoint in the timeline post content component, but here we actually, I wonder, I should be able to put a breakpoint here. Yeah, so let's click on continue, and here I also have only 3. I have no comments here. Because I need to go in there first. So here I have the first post, and here I don't have any comments, I don't have any interactions, I don't have I have properties, number of comments and number of interactions. That's actually nice. I could just use this property. Yeah, but I'm still not getting it. Why? So if we go for each post in posts and we have 3, why do we actually display 6? I'm not sure. This was the first one. Then for each comment so we have 0. Then we have the second post, and the count is still the same. Then we have the third post, no comments, and then we just repeat. But why? Why am I just repeating? I get that's strange. So if you have any idea, because I only have 3 posts here, but why do I actually go more times over them, because it's for each. So if I have 3, why do I actually go several times over them? That's that's a thing that I don't understand at all. I guess that would need some investigation. So here is the post, here is the author and when the post was actually made, and then this is the content. But there's actually not a way to be able to interact with the post, so I don't have a way to comment on it. I have to look into the template. But yeah. Okay. How does timeline component look? Okay, let's take a look into that. That would be our timeline component. So this is the parent basically. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, this is because when we initially did this parent component, we just wanted to simulate here this would be a list. And actually, yeah, that's actually the problem. Oh my god. Okay, because yeah, we had it in the for loop. We actually don't need a for loop here, because we just give the list of posts to the component. Although I guess one could argue here, or one could argue here that the post content should only display a content, so the iteration should be probably done here instead of the child component. But I guess for now let's leave it this way. And yeah, right now it should work. But thank you very much, MB. That was very helpful. Where are you watching from? How does the timeline component look? Okay, yeah, that's what you said. That was your hint. That was your hint. So right now let's just test again. So I go on timeline and then I see only 3 posts, which is fine. That's just fine for now. From Romania. Okay, nice. Nice to have you here. Which city? Let's then maybe, and I guess that's the last thing that I will do, and then I will have to stop for now. Let's then indeed do it like both me and you, MB, suggested. So let us go to this post component, and what we'll actually do here is, I don't want to get a list of posts, but I want to get only one post. And that would mean that if I go in the render part, let's just cut everything out of here. Let's just cut it out, and we don't have a for each here. Of course, we'll have some errors here because yeah, we have the username, we still have it, but then the post would be something like, it should be capitalized because this is the name of our property. Where do we have some other errors? It's here that we have an error. Where do we have else? It's here. Because Cluj. Okay, that's nice. Do we maybe know each other? that would also be nice to know. Because I well, had several trainings or I don't know, conferences in Cluj, so it might be that we might know each other. Cluj is a very nice city, and it's it's unfortunate that with all these problems with the pandemic, I basically was not able to visit any other city or country in this period. So yeah, I guess that should be fine right now. So let's go in the parent. That would be the timeline component. Now I just found out your channel a few days ago. Okay, nice, thank you. I'm glad that you found it, because most of the viewers of this channel are actually not from Romania. So that's why I'm very, very glad. Okay, let's go to the parent. Where is the parent? It is here. So then we have this list of posts, and we'll do the for each here at the parent level. So in that case, we just say that post, and then let's do the for each, because we will have to send down only a specific item. So it's the for each post in user posts. Okay, and then we simply take this out from here and we'll put it here, and here we'll pass in the post itself, and that should actually, I guess, do it. So let's run it again, and I guess this time it should work. And then I guess I'll stop for the moment, because yeah, I have to go visit some people. It's Sunday, but let's see what we have. So if we go on timeline, then we get all these posts, which are 3, which is perfect. Now the one thing that I still want to test, but if it doesn't work, I really won't look into this right now because it's already late for me. Here is another post from my timeline. So let's publish it. So the idea is that it was actually it was not published. It was not published, or it was published actually, but if you refresh the page, I guess now we'll have it. I guess we didn't order them, so we'll have to do some ordering. Here they should be based chronologically, but so right now we have 4. But what is the... Here is another post from my timeline. I guess that's the one that we created right now. It's 9:13. Yeah, that is the one. The reason why it says like that is that we store it in the database as UTC. But state has changed shouldn't be theoretically called, because at least the official Blazor documentation says, or I guess I know the problem. So Blazor says that if you are, for instance, in this child component, so when you invoke async, this will actually invoke or put something on the Blazor synchronization context. And this means that Blazor will know that it actually has to re-render things. The problem, however, I guess, is that it tries to find out exactly what it has to re-render. But the problem is that right now, if when we actually implement the change, so when we do this type of stuff like create post, the problem is that you add a post that's correct, but then basically Blazor will see that okay, you have a list of posts that essentially remains the same, because this is a reference type, so the reference is the same. You have more elements, but Blazor doesn't know about that. So we'll have to try to implement here things like cloning, actually, like actually cloning the lists that we display in the front end, not displaying them directly. It's and this actually happens in Angular 2 a lot. So yeah, so the reason is not that state has changed, hasn't been called. The reason why it doesn't say anything is that it doesn't see the change of the posts as a change, because it's still the same reference. So this is why this actually happens. So this is why I guess it would be better to work here, or what we display actually in the browser should be a copy of the array of posts that we actually get from the database. And in that case, we should maybe try to make sure that the copies are always synchronized. But that shouldn't be a problem. And for instance, I could here in this create post, let's maybe try out also what you said. But I think that my theory should be the one that would be correct. Let's say state has changed, because this entire process of invoking a callback, this actually triggers this state has changed, and it's very explicitly defined in the Blazor documentation. Okay. So, NB, are you a software developer, a .NET developer, or I don't know, something else? Okay, let's go here to the timeline again. If and you see that it is exactly the same. It's exactly the same, because yeah, the Blazor doesn't see that this as a real change because the reference is exactly the same. Yes, full stack. Yeah, I'm kind of also full stack, but I really hate the front end part. So yeah, but yeah. So if we refresh right now, then I guess we should have this somewhere. Let's see if state has changed. Of course, we need also to order this chronologically, and yeah, that should be it for now. That I'm kind of happy with what we have. Okay. So guys, as said, I really have to stop right now. I'll probably keep on working on this application later today, probably in the afternoon. So if you follow my channel on YouTube or on Twitch, then you will probably get notified when I'm about to start streaming. I usually set up the stream 1 hour in advance so that you have time to get your notifications. But I can't really say exactly at what time I will stream today, because there are too many variables in my day today. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. It was a pleasure having you here, MB. Thank you for staying that long. And yeah, maybe we'll meet someday when we'll be able to travel more, not like the previous months. So thank you once again very much for watching, and